Hey, welcome back. This is Coach Parker, and today we're going to continue to talk about my 6-2 multi-8 youth football defense. And specifically, we're going to talk about the 6-2 by 8 stack formations, which is sort of the next series in the defensive system. We talked about last time the multi 6-2 series. This time we're going to talk about the stack formations and the series. Again, I want to apologize for taking a while to get to this next video. I've been writing a companion book to these videos, which I'll be releasing soon. If anybody would actually like to help me edit and review the book, I am selling a draft copy of the book that you can contact me through my blog. For a $15 donation on my donation page there. I'll send you a draft beta version of the book, and you can start kind of looking at it and helping me edit it, and that would be a huge help to me. And then once the book is complete, hopefully by August 15th or so, a final version, September 1st, I'll send you another email of the completed edition 1 of the Parker's Pirate 6-2 multi-8 youth football defensive system. So let's go ahead and get into the stack formations here. There's 5 of them. There's a 3-3 stack, a 45 stack, the 21 stack, 44 stack, and the 55 stacker Pirate defense. And so let's get right into it. Those are the main 5. Quite honestly, I use the 33 and 45 stack quite a bit. The other 3 are very specific to certain instances, but let's go ahead and get right into it. So, as always, like I said in the last video, our defense always comes out in the 6-2 wide tackle. That is my base of all bases. I call this the base defense. And actually, this is my signal over my head for wide, my wide fingers. That's actually the call for 6-2, the 6-2 wide tackle. And as you can see, this is just a traditional 6-2 wide tackle. So as the offense comes up, or I feel like they're in a formation or the team's running a formation, I may call the 3-3 stack fairly quickly, and the name of that is rifle. So the offense will come up, I'll call the defense, and you can watch the adjustment there. They go into a 3-3 stack, which is called the rifle. Now, a couple of things on here. You can see that the D tackle, the knob nose guard, and the other tom tackle have all aligned up, a head up on their men, the 2 offensive tackles in the center. The rover, gunner, and Mike are the stack linebackers there. And they're running a traditional 3-3 stack. One of them taps their guy. The down lineman goes to the tap side, the linebackers go to the other side. I really like the 2 outside linebackers to try to hit the outside gaps about 80% of the time, because I want them to flow toward the sweep lanes there. In this, I have an adjustment, a kind of a combine call here. I like when I go into a 3-3 stack, and a lot of times is to go on an owl call for the DNs, which moves the DNs back into kind of outside linebackers there, and they're reading more versus that contained kind of blitz thing that they did in the regular multi 6-2 series. So they're in owl right here, the 2 defensive ends, Will and Sam. And then as far as the secondary, a lot of times I'll put them into what I call this bullet. You can see Fred there is moved up into a middle linebacker position right here. And then the cornerbacks, Carl and Bob, have basically moved back into a cover 2 and are playing more of a cover 2, almost strong safeties. We're really not expecting a pass if because of the formation or the keys. But that's the 3-3 stack rifle. And let me show you the transition again. So again, we're sitting back in the 6-2 wide tackle, either through a key or I just feel like it's a short yardage situation or something. I've called the 3-3 stack rifle. Oops, too far back. There's the wide tackle. There they come into a 3-3 stack. Now, if I'm sitting in this 3-3 stack and then they adjust their formation or they move a guy out while this has happened, I can yell Lucy real quick. And in the Lucy out of this 3-3 stack, you actually move into this 53 defense. Did you see that? So if I'm locked in on the play call and I've got them in a stack and then it looks like there's some kind of passing offense come out or I see something, I can yell Lucy and the DNs go back up tight or they can stay in out. But you can see these three linebackers right here, Mike, Gunner, and the Rover here in the middle. They're going to step back and start reading, and that'll give us a little bit of help there. If I think there is going to be a pop pass or something weird has happened, I can yell Lucy real quick out of this 33 stack. So again, let's look at the transition. Here's the 6-2 wide. Those guys transition into the stack. And then if I see something for whatever reason I don't like right at the bat, I can yell just Lucy, and all three of the middle guys will move back. Or I could just say, Rover, Lucy 2, and one of them move back. But this is an all-out Lucy call. The two DNs would then move into a tango, and they would just go their normal blitz tracks. And then the linebackers kind of step back, and then the corners and Fred come out of bullet and go to that. So there's the 3-3 stack and the 3-3 Lucy there. I really like the stack against a power running team to use it almost as a blitz call from the 6-2 wide tackle. So we go back into the 6-2 wide tackle here. So the next one is going to be a 45 stack. And I call it a 45 because I basically stack on the 4 and 5 hole offensive tackles. And you can see the transition there. But the two defensive guards, the Knob and the Gunner, they're not stacking now. They're just playing their normal A-gap routines. And now the Rover and the Mike are stacking on the two D tackles, which are head up. And they're going to tap their guy to go which way. And basically, I came to this and the 3-3 stack because I was running C and B blitzes with the linebackers from linebacker positions. And I was like, wow, I can just basically stack these two guys in a 45 stack. And even though the offense sees it's coming, it's almost kind of harder some ways because you've got people moving and angles and the offensive line hates stacks. And so this actually worked out pretty good. Once again, I've got the DNs in an owl call. They're backed up here reading versus blitzing. And the secondary is in a bullet here. And once again, this is a great for short yardage off-tackle plays here. I really like the 45 stack and call the 45 stack a lot. And, if I wanted just a 4 stack, say we're at a 6-2 wide and I want a 4 stack, I could just call the 4 stack and the D tackle and the Rover here would stack. Or if I just wanted a 5 stack, the Tom tackle and the Mike linebacker would stack. Or if I called the 45, there you go. Or my name for that is Pistol. So then you can see the transition, the next play. You go back into the 6-2 wide tackle. So you can see that transition again there. You see how that works. And again, this is really, really works good. I mean, if you're sitting here and you're wanting to call, a Cobra or a Bomber blitz here, you could just say, hey, I want a 45 stack. And that'll happen. And you've got a stack versus a true kind of linebacker blitz. And that's how it evolved out of this. And I did evolve the secondary here into this bullet formation to give me a little extra here. And you could always call Fred the far out, which puts him back here. Or you could say, man coverage for the cornerbacks if you wanted to. But I like this bullet kind of coverage formation here that's a little bit stronger run coverage, pass coverage there. And you can always call a laser or kind of a tango blitz from these guys if you wanted them to go up into the defensive ends, to go into traditional kind of DNs there. I think I've I think the blitz call for those two guys are chow or chow chow, and that'll send those guys from there. Or you can run a tango and they'll move up and play their normal position. But again, that's the 45 stack pistol. So we go back into the 6-2 wide tackle there. And then I think the next one, I think that's, what do we got here? A 21 stack. Actually, a friend of mine was running this blitz against us in a scrimmage this year. And I'd had this in basically an Apache blitz, and this evolved again out of an Apache blitz call that or axe out of the Rover and the Mike here and the Gunner and the Knob, these guys in the middle. So you can see the D tackles are playing their normal. I do have the two D ends backed up into Owl again, but they could be in a tango where they're going, and I've got Fred, Carl, and Bob in the bullet. But I've got this Apache thing going on with these four guys over the A-gaps. This works out really good if you've got nervous center and quarterback, or the two guards are really weak. This really, really works out well for that, and especially early in the season. When you've got some centers, or if they're in a shotgun, this can really mess up. And you can just call a 2-stack with these guys or a 1-stack with these guys, but the total stack package here is called a blackjack. So let's go back into the 6-2 wide. So I call a blackjack stack, and you can see really, boom, the movement there. And really, if you don't want to put Fred, Carl, and Bob in a bullet, and Sam and Will and Al, you're basically moving these two people, the two linebackers, over into that. But I prefer to move into bullet Owl there with the 21 blackjack. And there goes back to the 6-2. So you can see the transition again there, just like that. Okay. And then I think the next is just basically a traditional 44 stack. This is almost an all-out blitz. I've got Fred and Carl and Bob, the safety and cornerbacks, and a bullet again. This is really good. If you're basically, this is like a gap 8 defense, but it's stacked up. So you're really expecting an inside run here, and folks basically just blitzing all out. You're kind of weak over here at this wing area here, and you may want to call a Carl Dog or Crazy or Coca-Cola or blitz in this area here to shore that up. But if you're going with that, you've already got so many people blitzing here. Or you could even call a Fred Dog to there and have just a big cover 2 there. So that's the 44 stack. And you can see on the stack, I really want the Sam and Will about 90% of the time to go outside versus inside on those, and that's what I try to call. You can see the transition again back here to the 6-2 wide to the 44 stack. And then we go back into a 6-2 wide tackle here. Okay. And you can see by the naming conventions, 33, 3 guys stack it, 45, 4 and 5 hole, 21, 2 and 1 hole, 44, 4 guys stacking. We're trying to name it so that kids remember it. So a 33 for like a 33 Winchester rifle, 45 stack pistol, a 44 stack is a Magnum pistol, and that sort of stuff. So we're trying to name these things so they can kind of remember that. And when you do, I would suggest you probably rename some of these so people, if they're reading the book or from season to season, they don't know your stack names or whatever. But you can do that, name them however you want. But I like to keep names that are easy for the kids to remember and somewhat tell them what to do in the name, and that seems to help them out to remember. This next stack is the 55 stack. Now I call this Pirate. This is from my first team, and this is basically an all-out blitz stacked. I like the cornerbacks to stay wide on this, but this is really great, especially if they're in a double wing and they're running a lot of stuff downhill in the middle. This stack, you got pretty much all of the gaps covered there. I like the corners to go, again, outside and stay outside versus kind of going inside. So send the Sam and Will to the D gaps about 90% of the time here again. But this is the Pirate stack, and I don't run this very much, but I do run it against the double wing quite a bit. Basically, you're in a cover one there with Fred. You definitely don't want a passing team or a passing down to kind of to test this. This is a pure running down. You know from a key they're going to run, and they're going to run inside. Because definitely, your pass defense is not very good here. This is definitely a running blitz. So those are the stack defenses again. Let's run back through those and get back to the front here. So we can just transition through those all again. So again, here's the 3-3 stack, and it's a rifle because basically 30-30 is what I consider the 3-3 stack. So it's rifle. And then if you wanted to get out of rifle real quick and out of a stack defense, because you see something, you've got this 33 loosey thing going on. You can just loosen up the backers. Back into a 6-2. 45 stack. You've got stacks over the 4 and 5 hole. 45 pistol. So the pistol name there. Go back into a 6-2. 21 stack blackjack for card game. So 21 blackjack. There's the 21 stack. 6-2 wide tackle. You've got the 44 for the 44 Magnum pistol. And you've got those stacks there. I think I said on the last side the cornerbacks would stay outside, but it's actually Sam and Will. I want them to stay outside there. And then in the 55 stack, this is Pirate for an old team I used to play. We ran this all-out Pirate blitz quite a bit. And so it gets that name. And you've got 5 guys basically stacking up in a cover 1 back there with Fred in case anything breaks out of that. So there's the stack defenses there. And like I said earlier, those stack defenses really evolved out of some blitz calls, Apache, Bomber, Cobra, and Dog that I was doing. And so a friend of mine was running a stack defense, saw what he was doing there, and I'm like, okay. So I've got my defense. I've got my 6'2" wide tackle linebacker blitz calls. Every now and then I can stack up a guy. I was stacking up the knob and the gunner, the 2 A-gappers, in a head up stack over the center every now and then when I called it golf tee. So I'm like, well, I can do the linebackers like that too. And so the stacks, if you think about it, were really just an evolution of my current linebacker blitzes that I had. And if you talk to the players about that, that's all that is, except for now they're stacked up. It's an easier installation of the stack defenses that way. The only kind of big differences you have there is if you're going to move, your coverage guys, your D-backs, your Fred, Carl, or Bob. Let's go back to that. Like in this 44 stack here, if you're going to move them into this bullet, or you're going to move the D-ends into backed up owl position. But once again, I hope you liked the video of the stack series here. If you have any questions, please leave comments below. Like the video if you get a chance. It really helps support the channel. And definitely, if you like the series of free coaching videos here on my 62 multi-8 defense, please subscribe to the video. Stay tuned for more of these free videos. And like I said earlier at the first of the video, I am writing a companion book to the 6'2" multi-8 youth football defense that goes into a lot more detail, almost geeky kind of detail of some of the things that I've been doing with the defense. But should be out soon. Again, a pre-beta version of the book is $15, and you can just hit me up with a comment that you'd like a copy with your email, either here on the YouTube video or over at my blog at coachparker.org on my contact page there, and I'll get you a PDF copy of an advanced copy of the book, and you can help look through it and edit it. And once I finish it, I'll send you a finished copy, edition 1 of the book. Again, this is Coach Parker. I hope you're having a great day. Remember to play for fun and winning is funner. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.